Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We got game two of the San Francisco Giants Houston Oilers series. And leading off for the Giants, doing the catching, Buster Posey. Batting second, playing second, Robbie Thompson. Batting third, playing left field is Barry Bonds. Batting fourth, playing center field is Mays. Batting fifth, playing first base is Cepeda. Batting sixth, playing shortstop is Aguilar. Batting seventh, playing third base is Williams. Batting eighth, playing right field is Pence. And on the mound, doing the pitching is JUAN MARICHAL. And for the hometown Houston Oilers, leading off playing center field is Cesar Cedeno. Batting second, playing short is Thon. Batting third, playing second base, Jose Altuve. Batting fourth, playing first base is Bagwell. Batting fifth, playing left field is Berkman. Batting sixth, playing right field is Tucker. Batting seventh, playing third base is Aspamonte. Batting eighth, doing the catching is Castro. And on the mound, doing the pitching, batting ninth for the Houston Astros is Dallas Keuchel. Let's get down here to the Astrodome and get this game started. And the lead it off for the Giants is Buster Posey in 2012. He batted 336, 24 homers, 103 RBIs. And Dallas Keuchel was 20 and 8 with a 2.48 ERA in 2015. And here's the pitch. And that's wrapped deep into the outfield. How far is this ball going to go? And kiss it goodbye. Buster Posey starts this game off with a leadoff homer here in the top of the first. Giants won. Houston that'll bring up Robbie Thompson, who batted 312, 19 homers and 65 RBIs in 1993. And that's going to be a fly ball out the deep right field. Tucker goes back, makes the catch near the wall for out number one. Brings up Barry Bonds now. Barry, he's 0 for 3 so far this year. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Jeff Bagwell. He'll take it himself for out number two. Brings up Mays now. And Mays is 0 for 4 on the year. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. And that'll end the inning. But the leadoff homer by Posey. Giants won. Houston coming to the plate. You got Cedeno, Thon, and Altuve due up here against JUAN MARICHAL. And MARICHAL in 1966 was 25 and 6 with a 2.23 ERA. And here's, so we drop the dice. And here's the pitch to CC. And that's going to be against a righty, 18. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Rick's up with it, fires across the diamond to Cepeda for out number one. And Thorn's up now. And he's 0 for 3 on the year. No homers and no RBI. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. And that'll be out number two. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the first. And Altuve's up, batting 333. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. 53 and a 5. That'll be fielding column 2. That's going to be an error by Williams, and E5 keeps this inning alive here. So Jose gets a board here for Jeff Bagwell. And Bagwell's batting .333 with a homer and an RBI. And that's going to be against the righty, 24. And that is going to be a ground ball down the third. Matter of fact, that's a swing and a miss. He strikes Bagwell out. That'll end the inning. Houston Strands won. We go to the top of the second in a 1-0 ball game. You got Cepeda, Aguilar, and Williams due up here. And in 1961, Cepeda hit .311 with 46 homers and 142 RBI. And that's going to be a rare play, 37 and a 62. And that's going to be hit out in front of the plate. Reroll dice here, 42 and an 8. 42 and an 8 will be fielding column 1. And that'll be a nice play by Castro. He's up with it, fires down the first for out number 1. 1 down now, and up to the plate comes Rick Aguilera. And he is batting .324 with 37 homers and 97 RBIs in 2001. And that's going to be a base on balls. Well, we got the right guy. It might not be. 64. That's going to be a swing and a miss. Look at the right card there, and that's second out of the inning. See San Francisco's schedule. They got one more game here in Houston. Then they go to Arizona. Then Houston goes out to San Francisco. And Matt Williams comes up to the plate. He's 0 for 1 on the year. And here's the pitch to Matt. And that's going to be a ground ball down the thorn. That'll be a 1-2-3 inning. To the bottom of the second we go. We got Berkman due up here, followed by Tucker and Aspamonte. Lance is batting 1,000 as ID Jester joins us here. Oh, it's doing good, ID. Really enjoying this. Love these bat sets. And Berkman's got a homer and 1 RBI on the year. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. That'll be out number 1. 1 up and 1 down here. And the bottom of the second, Kyle Tucker comes to the plate. And he's 0 for 4, looking for his first hit of the year. And that's going to do it. He squares this one up, folks. Where's this going to end up at? That ball is laced in the right field off the wall for a 1-out double. Tucker down in scoring position now for Bob Aspamonte. And Bob is batting .500 on the year. No homers and 2 RBIs. Can pick up number 3 here. Tucker down there at second. And that's going to be against the righty. 20. And 8. Yep, that's going to be a ground ball down the short. See if the runner stays there. It's 33 on an 8. That'll be fielding column number 2. And the runner will hold. He'll look the runner back. Rick does. Fires over to first. And now there's 2 outs. Runner still down at second. And Jason Castro picks up the bat and comes to the plate. And he's 0 for 3 on the year. Here's the pitch to Jason. And that's going to be a... Let's see what the infield is here. 2, 10, 19, 23, 31, 36. That'll be fielding column 1. That's going to be a pop-up down the left field line near the wall. And Rick makes the catch in foul territory for out number 3. We go to the top of the third. It's still 1-0 San Francisco. Bottom part of the order due up here for the Giants. Pence, JUAN, MARICHAL, and back to the top with Posey. And Pence gets a hold of this one. Yeah, this is the bats I'm using in the 1988 schedule, but this is the post 1961 bat set I'm actually playing ID. But yeah, 98 is a good year. I need to get that. Do the home run chase. Be fun to do. And see where this ball ends up at. That's going to be a single in the right field. So Pence is aboard here with nobody out. Lead off hit here for the Giants. And you can see the team comparisons. Giants are 0-1. They've scored 5 runs on 2 homers and a stolen base. Houston's 1-0, 7 runs, 3 homers, and 1 stolen base. JUAN MARICHAL comes up here, and in 1966 he batted .250 with a homer and 15 RBIs, but they're going to ask him to lay down a bunt here. And he gets a nice bunt down. That'll be hit down to first base. Jeff Bagwell picks it up. Only plays over to first with Jose covering. The runner will get down in the scoring position now with 1 out, and back to the top of the order we go. And Posey's up. He led this game off with a homer. We drive in Pence from second, and that's going to be a ground ball down the second. 46 and an 8. That'll be fielding column 1. And with 1 out, that's going to be popped up to third. Bob calls for it out in shallow left field. Runner will hold. Now there's 2 down. And Thompson's up here. And Robbie's 0 for 1. He flew out the right his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to his counterpart at second. Jose fires over to first, and that'll do it. The Giants strand 1. The lead-off hit goes nowhere. We go to the bottom of the third in a 1-0 ball game, and Dallas grabs the bat. And in 2015, he hit 200, no homers and no RBI. So we lose one of the dice. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Dallas goes down on strikes. For out number 1, the third strikeout by MARICHAL. Back to the top of the order we go here. CC's 0 for 1. He grounded out the short back in the first. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Thompson at second. 2 quick outs here in the third. And Thorne's up. And Dickey is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up. That's going to be a ground ball again down the second. 1, 2, 3 inning for the Astros. To the top of the fourth we go. Got the big boys due up here for the Giants. You got Bonds, Mays, and Cepeda. And Barry's 0 for 1. He grounded out the first his first time up. And that's going to be another ground ball down to Jeff. That'll quickly be an out. And Willie's up now. And Mays, he struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Tucker gets to it, cuts it off quickly, holds him to a single. And Orlando Cepeda's up now. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out to the catcher his first time up. Let's see here. Yeah. And here's the pitch to Orlando. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Tucker makes the catch for out number 2. And I think we're going to send Willie down the second, see if he can steal here. It'll be a 27. So that'll be a 53 or lower. Willie safe at second. And he's barely in there. And Jose is arguing that he got the tag down, but ump says no. Willie got in there safely with his first stolen base of the year. So now you got Aguilar up with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. And Rick is 0 for 1. He struck out back in the second. And that's going to be a catcher. 22. That'll be fielding column 1. And strike runner called off second. So Willie steals second and then gets picked off down there. Does he get picked off by the catcher or the pitcher? The catcher picks him off. Nice job by Castro to throw down there and pick him off. That'll end the inning, folks. So the Giants go down. We're to the bottom of the fourth in a 1-0 ball game. And we got Jose, Jeff, and Lance due up here. Altuve is 0 for 1. He reached on an error back in the first. And you can see that the Giants are batting 200 on the year with a .314 on base percentage, slugging .467 with a .781 on base OPS. And Houston's batting .214 on base percentage of .361, slugging a .429 and an OPS of .790. Here's the pitch to Jose. And that's going to be a fly ball out the center. Mays has got a bead on it. Makes the catch for out number 1. And that brings up Jeff Bagwell now. And Jeff struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. Bagwell gets on first. Tying run down at first. Go ahead, run at the plate. And Berkman. And Lance is 0 for 1. He grounded out the short in the second. And that's going to be a pop up behind the plate. Posey takes the mask off, makes the catch for out number 2. And Jeff Bagwell, I think he's going to take off here, folks. It'll be a 29. And that will be a 55 or lower. He saves at second. And he's in there easily with a stolen base. So Jeff gets in the scoring position. Let's see if Houston can do better than the Giants here with a runner down there at second. 2 outs. Trailing by 1. And that's going to be a swing and a miss by Tucker. And that'll win the inning. So Houston strands 1. It's still a 1-0 ball game. We got us a good pitching matchup here today, folks. The only bad pitch of the day was the homer. So now we got Aguilar due up, followed by Williams and Pence. Rick was up when Willie got picked off at second. He struck out back in the second. That's going to be a fly ball out to center field. CC makes the catch. 1 down here in the top of the 5th. Matt Williams comes to the plate now with 1 out and nobody on. He grounded out to short in the second. And that ball's hit well. Let's see where this ball ends up at, folks. And that ball is hit into the gap in right field. Matt's got himself a 1-out double. And Insurance runs down at second. The Giants up 1-0, and Hunter Pence comes to the plate. He singled back in the third. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And the runner's going to make it down the third. Dickey fires over to first. Now there's 2 outs, a runner down at third, 90 feet away. And Juan Marichal is up. Like I say, not a bad hitting pitcher. He had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. And Marichal hits that ball down pops that ball up down the second. Jose Altuve makes the catch, and that'll win the inning. And the Giants strand 1 to the bottom of the 5th we go. And we got the bottom part of the order due up here for Houston. Aspamonte, Castro, and Keuchel due up. Bob's 0 for 1. He grounded out to short back in the second. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Matt fires over to Cepeda. Oh, no, it was wrong. I put shortstop in. Supposed to be down the third. Supposed to be down the third. There we go. And that brings up Castro. See if Jason get a board here with one out. He popped up the short back in the second. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. That ball is ripped down the right field line. And that'll be a double. So Castro down there at second. And they're going to let Dallas swing away here. See if he can drive in a run here. So you got a runner on at second. And one out. Dallas help his own cause here. That's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And a 64 and a 2 is probably fielding column 3. Nope, barely column 2. And that's going to be first on air, runner the third. Pitcher throws a wild throw to third. F runner out trying for home. And batter to second. And he's not an F batter, so he'll stop at third. So we got a E1 here. And the runner's now on the corners with one out. Houston with the tying run 90 feet away. Dallas comes through. And now you got Cesar up. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out to short and second. And he drive them in. Got the Giants looking for a double play ball here. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. 41 and an 8. That's going to be a fielding column 2. And with the defense back. And they're going to get the runner out at second. But CC's too fast. They can't get the double play. So the run will score. So a 6-4 put out. That'll tie this game up. Runner down at first now and 2 outs in a 1-1 ball game. And Dickie Thon comes to the plate. And CC's going to try to get in scoring position here. That'll be a 27, 53 or lower. CC's in there. And he's in there with a stolen base. Running wild today here in Houston, folks. So CC's down there at second. And we got Thon up now. Can Dickey drive him in there? CC's got great speed on the pads. Thon's 0 for 2. He is struck out and grounded out. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Mays. That'll end the inning. But Houston scores 1, ties this game up at 1 apiece. As we go to the top of the 6th. Got the top of the order due up here for the Giants. Posey, Thompson, and Bonds. And Posey with that leadoff homer, the only run of the game for the Giants. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Bob fires over to first. And that'll be out number 1. See what Robbie can do here. Robbie's 0 for 2. He's flown out and grounded out. And that's hit high. How far is this one going to go, folks? Out there in the Houston air. And that ball is going. Robbie Thompson with a 1-out homer. Makes it a 2-1 ball game here, folks. That brings up Mr. Barry Bonds now. Scored 2-1 Giants. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out the first both times. And that's going to be a pop up down the second. Jose makes the catch for out number 2. And Willie's up now. And he's 1 for 2. He is struck out, singled, stole a base, and got picked off. And that's going to be a base on balls by Mays. Mays makes it down to first. And Willie, I believe, is going to try to steal again here, folks. It's going to try to steal again. They're up by 1. Let's see. So yeah, he's going to try to steal on a 26. That'll be a 52 or lower. And he's barely in there. Willie makes it in again, just barely, folks. So a stolen base by Mays. Willie's in scoring position for Orlando with the Giants already up by 1. Cepeda is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flown out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the thorn. He'll fire over to first. And that'll win the inning. But the Giants score 1 on the homer by Thompson. It makes this a 2-1 game going to the bottom of the 6th. Got the 3, 4, 5 hitters due up here for Houston. Jose, Jeff, and Lance. Now Tubi's 0 for 2. He's reached on an air and flown out the center. And that's going to be against an 18. That is going to be a base hit in the center field. So Jose gets aboard here. And that puts the tying run at first. And the go-ahead run comes to the plate. And Bagwell. And we don't have Jose's steal rating in here correctly. So let's change that. A little behind the scenes here. Give me a second. Jose's steal rating wasn't entered right here. Didn't put his letter grade in. That should be an E in there. Alrighty, now we'll get back to the game. Alrighty. So Jose's down at first, nobody out for Jeff Bagwell. And Jeff is 0 for 1. He's walked, struck out, stole a base, yet to put the ball in play. And that's going to be against the righty, 24 and a 9. 24 and a 9. Come on now. Boards ain't cooperating with me here. And that is going to be a pop-up down the short. Rick Aguilera out in shallow left field makes the catch for out number 1. Lance Berkman's up now with 1 out and a runner still down at first. Lance is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and popped up. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes on him. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And he gets a hold of this one, folks. This could tie the game up at least. With Jose's speed down there. That's going to be a double. In the right field, Hunter Pence has got a hell of an arm down there. There's only 1 out. Let's see here. Jose's going to take a chance here. 24. Then you got Tucker due up 24. That'll be a 46. He's going for it. A 46 or lower, he's safe. And they throw him out. They throw him out at the plate. So Lance with a double in the right field. And the runner gets thrown out trying to score. And so it's still a 2-1 ball game. Now there's 2 outs, a runner down at second for Kyle Tucker. Tucker is 1 for 2. He's doubled and struck out. Can he drive in Berkman from second here and tie this ball game up? And nope, that's going to be a ground ball Down, pop up down the short, and that'll end the inning. So, big play by Hunter Pence keeps this a 2-1 ball game as we go to the top of the 7th. Rick Aguilera due up, followed by Williams and Pence. Rick's 0 for 2. He struck out and flown out. And that'll be a base hit in the right field. So a leadoff hit here to start the 7th off with. And Matt Williams is up now. He doubled back in the 5th. And that's going to be against the lefty. An 8. And an 8. And that's going to be a base hit, line drive in the left field. Rick will stop at second. So first and second, and all of a sudden, there's trouble in Dallas. First and second, and nobody out. He needs a double play in the worst way here. Hunter Pence is up. He's singled back in the 3rd. He's 1 for 2. And that's going to be a fly. Hey, as Beatles joins us here, that's going to be a fly ball out the center field. CC makes the catch. And he's probably going to stay put. Yeah, he's going to stay put at second, not to hit that deep. So now there's 1 out. Runner still in first and second. And here is the question. Do we pitch hit for Marichal, try to bust this game open? Or do we let him bat? Marichal's not a bad hitting pitcher. He batted .250 with a homer. He's got a 4-hit, 1-run ball game. You know what? We're going to let him bat. Going to let him bat. Swing away here. And it pays off, folks. That is going to be a base hit in the left field. Juan Marichal says, we don't need no stinking DH. Base hit in the left field. Lance Berkman with a good arm out there. See if Rick can score easily here on this single. Yeah, he'll score with no throw. And Williams will stop at second. So that's an RBI single by Juan Marichal. And that makes it a 3-1 ball game as Dallas gives up a hit to the opposing pitcher. We still got first and second, and that'll get the bullpen up in a hurry now. I'd like to get him through this inning. Dallas is due up 3rd. See here with Posey up now. He's 1 for 3 with that solo homer back in the 1st. And the hits just keep on coming. That's going to be another single in the left field. And that'll score Williams. And Marichal's going to stop at second. Just singling him to death here. So now it's a 4-1 ball game. And you got the righty, a lefty, and a righty due up here. Does Houston got any lefties? Yeah, they got a few lefties in the bullpen. The pitch to Bonds. So this will probably be Dallas's last batter one way or the other here. So they'll have a lefty come in to pitch to Barry. Robbie is 1 for 3. He had a homer back there in the 6th. Here's the pitch to Robbie. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, a big strikeout by Dallas. And now, like I say, that's going to be it for Dallas. We'll bring the lefty in. I think we're going to make a double switch here. Going to do a double switch with Tucker out there in right field. See who we're going to put out there. I think that's who we're going to go with. We got like 3 options here. Give me a second. Sorry, guys. Wasn't prepared for this double switch here.
Hidalgo.
Let's see here. Here we're going to go. We'll do the double switch here. Do the double switch. Hidalgo will come in, and let's see who's going to come in to pitch. So we'll go here. Hidalgo will come in and bat in the 9 spot. Who do we want to pitch here?
Sambito.
Let's see here now. We got to figure out who we're going to have as a pitcher here. Joe Sambito will come in here to pitch and bat in the 6th spot. And Hidalgo will play right field. That's what we'll do here. Alrighty. So he'll bat in the 6th spot. Tucker will come out of the game. Hidalgo will bat in the 9 spot, and that's it for Dallas. Alrighty. See if they can get out of this mess now. Got Barry Bonds up. 2 outs. Runners on first and second for Bonds. Bonds is 0 for 3. He's grounded out and popped up. And that's going to be a 2 balls and no strikes. Don't want to get behind on Barry. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And that's going to be against the lefty. And then 8. That is going to be a fly ball out the right field. And that'll end it. So both of them come into play. The ball always finds you, don't it? His first play. And Hidalgo makes the catch for out number 3. But the Giants score 2 as we go to the 7th inning stretch. It's 4-1. You got Aspamonte, Castro, and Hidalgo due up here in the bottom of the 7th. And a 3-run ball game. And that's going to be against the righty 20. And that's going to be a ground fly ball out the maze for out number 1. And Jason Castro, he's 1 for 2. He doubled and came around the score in the 5th. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Marichal strikes him out for out number 2. And Richard's up now. His first plate appearance of the year. And in 2000, he batted .314, 44 homers, and 122 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts by Marichal. And that'll end the 7th. We get to the top of the 8th. And you got Mays, Cepeda, and Aguilar due up here for the Giants. Mays is 1 for 2. He's got 2 stolen bases in the game. Got picked off at second. Here's the pitch to Willie. And that ball is driven down the right field line over first base. That'll be a leadoff double by Mays. And the Giants looking to add some more runs here, folks. So a leadoff double by Mays. That brings Orlando up to the plate. He is 0 for 3. Grounded out twice and flown out the right. And that's going to be against the lefty. Making a 15 on an 8. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And the runner's going to get down to third. with one out. So now you got a runner at third and one out, forces Houston to bring the infield in. They can't afford to give up any more runs as Rick comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3. Singled back in the 7th and came around the score. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. And I have to re-roll a dice here. 4. That'll be a 35. I don't think he's going anywhere. He's not. Mays is going to hold up. Not going to test the Peta's arm. So now there's 2 down. Runner still at third. That lets the Astros bring the infield back. Matt Williams comes to the plate having a nice game. He's 2 for 3 with a double in the 5th and a single, and came around the score in the 7th. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Jose. That ends the inning. The Giants strand 1. We go to the bottom of the 8th in a 4-1 ball game here. Got the top of the order due up here. And Marichal's due up second in the top of the 9th. So this will probably be his last inning. CC and then Thon and Altuve due up. CC's 0 for 3. He does have an RBI and a stolen base. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. That's the 3rd straight strikeout for Marichal. He's in this game strong, ain't he? 7 strikeouts on the game. And Dickie Thon up now as Ken Castro joins us. Yeah, the Giants are winning. Exactly, Ken. That's for sure. Alrighty, so here we go. Dickie Thon, 1 out, nobody on. They need to get some runs, I think, in this inning to get back in this game. That's going to be popped up down the 2nd. That breaks up the strikeout streak. But now there's 2 outs here. And the 8th. So it's going to be up to Jose to keep this 8th inning going. I don't think they want to try to score 3 runs in the 9th. Jose's 1 for 3. He's reached on an error and singled in the 6th. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field in a 1-2-3 inning. And we go to the top of the 9th. It's 4-1 Giants. You got Pence, a pitch hitter for Marichal, and back to Posey. And Hunter's 1 for 3. He singled back in the 3rd. And that's going to be a swing and a miss for out number 1. And that'll be it for Marichal. Get a pitch hitter here for him. Let's see here. What righty do they want to bring in the game here? And Bobby Bonds is going to come off the bench here and pitch hit. So Bobby comes off the bench against the lefty. And Bobby is batting .250 on the year with no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Bob at 3rd. He fires over to the Jeff at 1st, and that'll be out number 2. We're back to the top of the order now in Buster Posey. And Posey's having a fine game. He's 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Solo homer in the 1st and an RBI single in the 7th. And that's going to be against the lefty. That's going to be a base hit in the left field. Posey keeps this inning alive here, folks. So Posey's aboard here. And Robbie comes to the plate. Robbie had a solo homer back in the 6th. He's 1 for 4. And that's going to be a 16 and a 9. Runner under first. And that's going to be an infield hit. And all of a sudden now, the Giants are making some noise here with 2 outs. And up to the plate comes Barry. And this is going to be Joe's last batter. I can tell you that one way or the other here. Barry Bonds, you didn't want him coming up here in the 9th in a 4-1 ball game. He is 0 for 4. He has grounded out the first twice, popped up the second, and flown out the right. And there it goes. That ball is high. That ball is far. Kiss it goodbye, Barry Bonds, with his first homer of the season. And that puts this game out of reach. Now the lights, the party's over, folks. Dan Meredith will say all you working folks can go to bed. And that's going to be it for Joe. Bring in a righty now. He's due up 3rd in that game. See who's going to come out here and pitch. And Ken Forsch is going to come out and pitch. As Joe couldn't get out of this 9th inning with 2 outs. All that happening with 2 outs. So Ken will come in here and try to get the last out of this inning. But the 3-run homer has put the kibosh to this comeback, I would think. We didn't want him there. Want him in the 6th spot. What am I doing? Put Ken in the 6th hole. There we go. So, Ken, what year was this for him? In 1976, he was 4-3 with 19 saves and a 2.15 ERA. Mays is up at the plate. He's 2 for 3 today. He has singled, doubled, and stolen 2 bases. And that's going to be against the righty. That is going to be a ground ball down to Bob. He fires over to first. And that'll end the inning. But the 3-run homer by Barry makes this a 7-1 ball game, and that's going to change up who they're bringing in here. That's for sure. Instead of Rob Nin coming in, let's see who they're going to bring in here. It's going to be Jeff Brantley's going to come in instead of. Not much of a difference here, folks. Not much of a difference, that's for sure. Brantley, one hell of a pitcher here. Jeff Brantley's going to come in here and try to hold this 6-run lead now. He'll be facing the big boys, the Killer Bees, Bagley and Berkman, and then a pitch hitter for Ken Forsch. Jeff is 0 for 2. He has walked and stolen a base. And that's going to be a base hit. Let's see where this ball ends up at. And that's going to be a double in the right field. How big was that 3-run homer, folks? So Jeff's aboard here now. Lance Berkman comes to the plate. Oh, Jeff Brantley is out there. Let's see what happens here with Lance Berkman. Berkman is 1 for 3. He doubled back in the 6th. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. 41 and an 8. Should be fielding column number 1. And it is. And he'll look the runner back to second. Fire over to first. Now there's 1 down and a runner down at second. I'll have a pitch hitter here for Ken. come off the bench here with the righty out there. All the lefties are in the game. Let's see here. And Biggio is going to come off the bench. Craig Biggio is going to come in here and pitch hit for Ken. And Craig's first plate appearance of the year. And in 1998, he batted .325, 20 homers, and 88 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Craig. And that's going to be a infield. And that's going to be a foul ball down the left field line near the wall. Rick Aguilera is going to make the catch for out number 2. And Bob comes up to the plate. Can Astamonte keep this game alive? He's 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and flown out. And that's going to be another pop-up down the left field line. Rick's out there again, makes the catch. And that's going to be your ball game, folks. The Giants win big, 7-1. Here at the box score. And the Giants had 7 runs on 13 hits and 2 errors. The Astros 1 run, 5 hits and no errors. The top of the order really came through for the G-men. Posey 3 for 5. Robbie 2 for 5. Both of them had homers. And Barry with a 3-run shot that busted this game open. You had 6 RBIs out of the 7 from the top of that order. They were 3 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Left 6 men on base. Willie Mays with 2 stolen bases. Giants. JUAN MARICHAL held these Astros in the check most of the game. Nobody with more than 1 hit. And the Astros were 1 for 6 and left 6 men on base. JUAN MARICHAL goes 8 innings of 4-hit ball. 1 run, it was unearned. Walked 1 and struck out 7. Brantley came in, gave up 1 hit. Dallas Keuchel goes to 0-1, 6 2/3, 9 hits, 4 runs, walked 1, struck out 3, gave up 2 homers. And Joe goes 2 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, struck out 1, and gave up the 3-run homer to Barry. And Ken comes in, pitches a third of an inning. Too little, too late, though. Let's take a look here at the standings now. Like I say, ain't a lot to look at, but we'll look at them. So the Braves are 1-1, and Florida Marlins are 1-2, a half a game back. Got the Cubs and Reds both at 2-1. Got the Brewers and now Astros at 1-1, half a game back. And out west, you got the Diamondbacks at 3-0. The Giants are 1-1, a game and a half back, and the Padres are 1-2, 2 games back, and the lonely Rockies 0-3, 3 games back. Lance Berkman leading with a .571 batting average. Multiple players in the National League with 2 home runs. And Tony Gwynn with his 5 RBIs. Of course, the ERA leader will be at 0. And the wins are at 1. But Bruce Sutter's got 2 saves on the year, leading the National League. And Sammy Sosa is leading in the MVP voting right now. And Randy Jones is leading in the Cy Young. Take a look here at game number 3 and see what the starting pitchers will look like. And let's see here. Game number number 3. It's not going to be Bergman and Kyle. It's going to be Bryant going up on the mound for the Giants, and Larry Dierker is going to be pitching for the Astros. I want to thank ID Jester. Check out his great channel. Beatles Eternally. Check out his awesome channel. And Ken Castro for stopping in here. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for reminders, and leave a comment and hit that like button on your way out. Till next time, y'all have a great day and take care.